Class 2 composite restorations are not as extensive as Class 2 amalgam restoration, but the cavity preparation design shown here is conventional Class 2 composite preparation. For initiating the preparation, a wedge is placed so that the adjacent tooth is not damaged during the preparation. The first step in preparation is occlusal cavity preparation. The preparation is usually done using diamond abrasive. This creates a roughened enamel for better bonding. Proximal box preparation is initiated same as in amalgam by first forming a proximal ditch cut. Then the shell of proximal enamel is removed off. The proximal box is being refined so that any friable enamel is being removed. This is followed by removal of the friable enamel using hand instruments like enamel hatchet. So the no remaining friable enamels remain in the proximal box. An explorer is being used to test the clearance from the adjacent tooth. Usually proximal retention grooves are not required for composite restoration. It is here proximal retention groove is used for preparing number 169N tungsten carbide doors. And this will be the final shape of a Class 2 conventional composite preparation. Roughening of enamel wall is done using diamond abrasives so that there is better bonding of the composite restoration to the tooth surface. This will be the final preparation, and this is followed by application of matrix system. Here the matrix system employed is sectional matrix system. Once the sectional matrix is applied, followed by wedge placement so that there is tight adaptation of the matrix band to the tooth surface. Then the sectional matrix ring is applied using rubber dam retainer forces. A slight burnishing of the retainer band will be required now at this stage. This could be done using a plastic filling instrument or back end of a spoon excavator as in amalgam restoration. Followed by adhesive application, which will be first stage will be etchant application, then for about 20 seconds. After 20 seconds the etchant is completely rinsed off and dried off. Once the etchant has been rinsed and dried off, denting bonding agent is applied using applicator tips thoroughly onto all parts of the cavity, and followed by light curing for about 20 seconds or following the manufacturing instructions. Once the bonding agent has been light cured, composite is placed in increments of not more than 2 mm. The first increment is placed in the deepest part of the cavity, which will be the proximal box. Thorough condensation is required so that there will be no voids in composite restoration. Thoroughly condensed, followed by light curing for about 40 seconds or depending on manufacturing instructions. The second increment of composite is now placed, again not more than 2 mm. Again it is being thoroughly condensed. Followed by light curing for about 40 seconds. Margin ridge height is being established in this composite facement itself, so that not too much of contouring or finishing will be required in later procedures. Margin shape is now being defined in this unset composite restoration or composite placement. varnish could also be used for defining the cuspal inclines and defining the shapes of cuspal inclines. Once a satisfied occlusal anatomy has been got, the composite is light cured. Now the retainer is being removed using rubber arm retainer forceps, and slowly the sectional matrix is also peeled off, because usually the sectional matrix will be tightly adhering to the composite. The matrix wedge is now removed by further curing of the gingival areas. Now the contouring is done using a football shaped tungsten carbide burr to refine the margin ridges and also the cuspal inclines. The tungsten carbide burr is usually 18 to 24 coated finishing carbide burr. The clear carver can be used to remove any flashes of composite that is protruding out of the cable surface margin. Tungsten carbide burr finishing is continued. So the small refinements in the marginal ridges is being now done here. Clear carver used to remove any flashes of composite. Polishing discs are being used to remove and finish the proximal surfaces of the composite restoration, which are inaccessible to the tungsten carbide burrs. The disc should be used carefully so the adjacent tooth is not being touched or damaged. A BP blade number 12 could also be tried out or used to remove the flashes of amalgam in the proximal gingival areas where the burrs or discs could not be entered. BP blade application should be done very carefully. The disc application is continued. Now the contouring procedure is almost done. Any small finer refinements are being now done with the burrs. Occlusal anatomy has been carved as closely as possible to the natural occlusal anatomy. During this finishing and contouring procedure, we must be careful that too much of composite is not removed and leaving an underfilled composite restoration. The cable surface margin is being now removed. So composite placement has been done properly. This contouring and finishing procedure will be done as quickly as possible. If too much of excess composite has been placed in the composite placement procedure, the contouring and the finishing procedure will be a laborious one. That's probably used to evaluate the discrepancy in cable surface margin. Finishing is done using composite finishing stones of different grades, starting from medium grades and going to finer grades, to impart the final smoothness and polishness and the shininess to the composite restoration. The proximal areas could be finished using rubber cups, where the polishing stones could not be accessed. The final shininess is slowly being imparted on the composite restoration. score we use to evaluate shininess, smoothness, and this will be the finished composite.